as I am doing this podcast today, a video that I did is sort of blowing up on YouTube. Yeah, it's still blowing up. It's gotten nearly 12,000 views, which is very high for me. And I just wanted to talk about it a bit. It's about my comments and thoughts on Meghan Markle last week, where basically, she talked about how her experience on Deal or No Deal, being a briefcase girl, she was treated as a bimbo and she's not happy. And my kind of retort to that was that, like, there are lots of people in this world who work very, very hard labor jobs and difficult jobs and barely make ends meet. And, I think of all the things that could have gone viral, this was the least thing that I want, because it's probably like a more conservative opinion, and it seems like online very conservative opinions like seem to just get trashed. And don't, like, it's not even that conservative. Like, I think a lot of people that I know would have a similar opinion, but I didn't really, I don't know. I didn't make a clip of it because I just didn't want to get viral. But, like, I guess now I more wanted to just talk about the internet, because I think now online, everyone is just constantly trying to find things about other people that they've done wrong or they've said and they've done that is bad. And it's been going on for a long time, and I'm a little bit over it. And I don't think, like, I still think that, there should be consequences for what people say and do, especially if they're saying, like, hideously racist, sexist, or offensive things. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think this is the territory that a lot of people start getting worried about, because they're like, oh, like, if you think this, then you must think that. Where it's like, we've moved away from people just being able to have a wide breadth of opinions and thoughts on things. And I'm not talking about having racist opinions, offensive, homophobic, like any opinions like that. I just mean, like, sometimes it's like, I think we've lost this sort of nuance in our discussion and discourse online, particularly because it's all written. But I think it's, like, fine to be like, oh, I understand. I think, the art of being like, I understand that Meghan Markle might feel like this, but also this is my understanding and experience of what other people have gone through. And I think that, being a really wealthy, like, I'm not saying that wealthy people can't feel depressed and angry. Like, absolutely not. Everyone can feel all of those feelings, and they're always justified, right? But I just mean, like, it's okay for someone to be like, oh, I actually just don't think that, I don't feel that sorry for Meghan Markle, because I just don't think that, like, I don't think that her struggles are as hard as a lot of other people. Like, there are people literally right now dying of devastating diseases that are incurable, untreatable, and they are just facing their own mortality right now. And I think that there are, like, much bigger issues in the world than having to be a deal or no deal person. Like, I really do. And I think if you were facing your own mortality because of a terminal illness, like, right now, you probably wouldn't, and I'm not, obviously, but sometimes I think about my dad, who had cancer when he was, like, probably my age, had throat cancer, and, like, was definitely staring his mortality in the face. Now, thankfully, he survived, and he's lived he's lived another 25 years, 30 years now. But I guess sometimes, like, my dad kind of sometimes has a very hard stance on life. It's just like, you just have to keep going. Like, you just have to keep going. And I think sometimes that can be a bit hard, but then I'm also like, well, this is a human being who literally was staring death in the face when he had 2 young kids. And he's like, and probably was like, oh shit, I don't think anything that I've worried about in the past really matters now that I'm possibly going to die with these 2 young kids and leave them without a dad. And I think I acknowledge that there are tons and tons of issues in this world. There are tons of issues that I wish I could change, but I also think that, like, and I'm really trying to draw a delicate line here, but I just think that there are, like, sometimes I think we just have to enjoy what we do have in life. And I acknowledge that I have a lot more in life probably than a lot of other people. I'm white, I'm heterosexual, like I'm sexually attracted to women, which is, you know, I guess the societal norm in inverted commas. I'm able-bodied. I am like reasonably fit, and I'm reasonably intelligent, and I'm male, right? All those things work in favor of my privilege, and you know, maybe that means my opinion on these matters is moot, and that's fine. But I guess it's just worth. I just think about, like, you know, people are just so quick to get into these enormous arguments with each other about their perceived wrongdoings, and I think deep down, not everyone, but I think most people deep down do care about other people. I think most people are sometimes really scared, particularly when it comes to political issues and stuff like that. And then a lot of people do kind of harass other people for having different opinions to them, which I don't think is good. And that's one of my key learnings from this year, I think, has been, I think I said this earlier in the year, but it's like, you can't make other people behave how you want them to behave, or think how you want them to think, or think what you want them to think. You can't do that. It doesn't work, for one, and two, you'll just end up unhappy. I think in life, sometimes you just have to learn to, like, accept and understand other people and try your very best. And I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I just thought it was worth talking about because I've just noticed it a lot online, and it makes me depressed, to be honest. But yeah.